That's right. Well, the US Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense didn't waste any time after landing at a military airbase south of Seoul. Often in these sorts of events, the officials just spend the first night relaxing and recuperating. Instead, they headed straight into meetings with their South Korean counterparts. We've only heard so far from the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd, who said before heading into his meeting with Suh Wook that he saw South Korea as a linchpin for peace and security and prosperity in Northeast Asia. But he also said that the relationship was more important than ever, and these are his words, given the unprecedented challenges posed by China and North Korea. So clearly those are the talking points going into the meeting this evening, and they will be carried over into a 2+2 meeting that is expected to be held with all four officials tomorrow. That is expected to have a very heavy focus on the DPRK's nuclear missile programs. President Joe Biden, of course, trying to come up with a new formula that his team says will be different from the strategies of the past. And these officials are here as a large part of that, consulting with South Korea to try and get this nation's perspective on what that strategy should look like. Seoul and Washington, of course, occasionally saw eye to eye under Trump on the North Korean issue, but were often at loggerheads. So trying to come together here and get a joint strategy. But all of this, of course, comes one day after Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yo-jong, sent a warning to the United States that it wouldn't rest well for the next 4 years if it kept making a stink, but also to South Korea. If it sort of pursued with the arrangement under the United States, it could rip up a military agreement over the DMZ that has kept hostilities at a low for the past 3 years, but also disband an important government unit tasked with communication with South Korea. So all of this going on in the backdrop, no doubt feeding into these talks, but taking this issue very seriously. According to US officials, the DPRK now has 3 ballistic missiles capable of reaching the mainland United States, has said its moratorium, its self-imposed moratorium on testing weapons is over, and according to the US, appears to be making preparations to not just test, but perhaps build more nuclear materials to go into weapons. So all of this going on in the background of these very serious talks at the moment.